I don't want to see the David fight. I think David is a heavyweight, and I think David's legacy is he actually needs to move up. And Usyk would be like the fight that would like give him the type of recognition that he needs. He needs to stop trying to suck down and beat up on smaller men. His legacy is a heavyweight. Crawford, he can do whatever he wants now. If he wanted to retire, he can do that. And if he wanted to just pick easy fights to pad the stats some more, he can do that too. We already know that Charlo's probably wouldn't stand a chance against him. Nobody else who's a big name at 160 or whatever. He don't need to go back down no more. That's a waste of time. And it's also bad on his body too. We saw what happened to Roy.
David Benavidez spoke very directly when he shared his thoughts on Terence Crawford's impressive win against Canelo Alvarez, making it clear he was honest and straightforward about the result.
But yeah, Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo.
No, I wouldn't fight Crawford. I'm at 170.
David Benavidez, the WBC light heavyweight champion, summed up Terence Crawford's performance using just 4 powerful words that many fans felt perfectly captured the moment. He made it clear that Crawford's achievement was more than just a great win, calling it solid proof that the fighter from Omaha has earned his place among boxing's greatest names. Earlier this month, Crawford entered the ring to face Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez, and many people believed jumping up 3 weight classes would be too difficult for him. However, Crawford surprised the entire boxing world by defeating Canelo and becoming the undisputed super middleweight champion. The historic fight was held at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, and when it ended, all 3 judges scored the bout in Crawford's favor with scorecards reading 115 to 113, 116 to 112, and 115 to 113.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, brilliant, masterful fight on Terence.
Right from the first bell, Crawford controlled the pace in a way Canelo struggled to handle, turning the fight into more than just another win and making it a historic moment in boxing. With this victory, Crawford became the first male boxer to hold undisputed championships in 3 different weight classes, strengthening his place among the sports legends. At 37 years old, the Omaha fighter delivered what many consider the best performance of his career. David Benavidez, who is also an undefeated world champion, openly praised Crawford and said his achievements deserve to be discussed among the greatest fighters ever. He highlighted how rare it is for a boxer to move from the 147-pound welterweight division to the super middleweight division and still manage to capture all 4 major belts, something almost never seen in boxing. Benavidez congratulated Crawford, saying he has reached a level in boxing history that very few fighters achieve, calling him one of the greatest ever, and added that defeating one of the top fighters of this generation while moving up 3 weight classes shows not only his skill but also his strong fighting spirit and determination.
No way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. But it is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't.
After securing the victory, Crawford added another milestone by becoming a champion across 5 weight divisions, and talk about his future plans started right away. Some people suggested he might drop back to middleweight to face Janibek Alimkanieli, the unified WBO and IBF champion, and if he managed to win there, he would be fighting for a title in a 6th division, which is extremely rare in boxing. At the same time, Canelo faced an uncertain future, as the 35-year-old star still had a 4-fight agreement linked to Riyadh season and was expected to step back into the ring in early 2026. But many fans and experts began questioning whether retirement could be the wiser choice, especially after losing his undisputed championship to Crawford, which made people wonder if his era of dominance might be coming to an end.
So yeah, you fighting, but you avoiding the monster. You understand me? That's going to tank the rest of his career if he keep trying to fight. Well, it's tough to say because he's made enough money that he can retire. He really has nothing else to prove. We saw him go up. He did like but he tested himself all the way up as far as he could go. He won the light heavyweight title, then he lost to B-Ball. So that shows that the light heavyweight was his ceiling. And that's good enough. Really, right now, he got nothing else to prove. You know, I mean, of course, if you keep fighting, people gonna demand you fight the monster because both you guys are Mexican. But to me, you probably shouldn't do that. You understand me? That's probably not a good fight for you at this point for real.
As Crawford enjoyed his historic victory, more boxing figures shared their opinions about the fight, with Hall of Famer James Toney offering a very harsh evaluation of Canelo's performance. He made it clear that he did not consider the fight competitive or honorable, believing instead that Canelo was fully outclassed. According to Toney, Canelo wasn't simply defeated but was gradually taken apart by Crawford's sharp skills, constant pressure, and smart strategy, delivering a strong criticism of a fighter who was once viewed as nearly unbeatable in the super middleweight division.
Not only did they lose him, he got destroyed basically. Took him apart.
Do you feel like he's gonna want that back? Do you feel like
if he's a true fighter, a true champion, he gonna want it back and train twice as hard and do what it takes to get the job done. Basically, that's what comes down to right there.
Toney's strong remarks came at a time when rumors about a possible rematch between Canelo and Crawford were starting to grow, with many believing Canelo might push for another chance quickly, especially after the WBC placed him back as the top contender at 168 pounds, which could give him an opportunity to try becoming undisputed champion for a third time, an achievement very few fighters have reached. While Toney focused on Canelo's loss, former light heavyweight champion Sergey Kovalev shifted attention to Crawford's future and suggested that Dmitry Bivol could be the one fighter who might seriously challenge him, pointing out that Bivol, who reached his own career milestone by becoming undisputed light heavyweight champion after beating Artur Beterbiev earlier in the year, has a style that could create real difficulties for Crawford, although Kovalev also acknowledged that Crawford proved in his last fight that he can adjust to different weights and opponents, making a potential matchup between them especially exciting to watch.
Let me ask you a couple of questions. Crawford, Spence. I know you watched the fight and you spoke about Crawford. How good is Crawford?
Crawford is amazing, not just good. He's amazing, and
he said the same thing about you.
Thank you, Terence. But I think he should be in the book for
is that good?
How to learn boxing. You know,
really.
He's a very good fighter. Yeah, I like to watch his fights.
Pound for pound, #1.
Yeah, probably he is now because he is undisputed champion in 2 weight classes.
It's crazy.
As Kovalev talked about possible challengers for Crawford, another boxing icon joined the conversation with a different topic. Oscar de la Hoya, former champion and promoter, shared his opinion on whether Crawford deserves to be ranked above Floyd Mayweather. The debate started after Canelo hinted that Crawford might have surpassed Mayweather, but de la Hoya strongly disagreed. He said Mayweather was clearly the better fighter and pointed to Floyd's fight against a younger Canelo, where Mayweather controlled the match with ease. De la Hoya explained that Mayweather barely absorbed any clean punches during that fight, showing his outstanding defensive skills and ring intelligence. He admitted Crawford is more aggressive and flexible in his fighting style, but still believed Mayweather's overall skill and technical ability were on a completely different level.
And who would do it? Because Canelo after the fight said that Crawford is way better than Floyd. You know Crawford, you know Canelo, you know Floyd. What do you think? Who would win in a fight?
My man. I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather.
This comparison brought back one of boxing's most popular debates about which generation produced the greater fighter. Mayweather earned his legendary status through flawless defense, smart strategy, and an unbeaten record while winning championships in 5 weight divisions. Meanwhile, Crawford has been building his reputation with his adaptability, toughness, and ability to dominate opponents in multiple weight classes. While fans may never fully agree on who stands above the other, the conversation itself shows how remarkable and influential Crawford's career has become in the sport.
It's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather.
I think Crawford is better, bigger. he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has their...
While fans continued debating boxing greatness, attention also shifted back to Mayweather's future in the sport. Although he officially retired in 2017 after defeating Conor McGregor, he has never fully ruled out making a return. Boxing analyst Dan Rafael shared his opinion, saying that if Mayweather ever fights again, he is unlikely to face top-level competition and would probably pick lower-risk opponents to protect his undefeated 50-0 record. Rafael also admitted he has no real interest in seeing Mayweather come back, explaining that watching the legend compete in late-career or exhibition-style fights does not bring much excitement, and he dismissed rumors of a possible rematch with Manny Pacquiao, saying it would not attract much attention, which reflects the opinion of many fans who feel Mayweather's legacy is already complete and does not need to be extended with unnecessary comebacks.
The difference, obviously, is that Manny was out of the ring for a lot less time than Floyd Mayweather was. That's significant. I mean, I hope this doesn't lead to some stupid discussion of doing a rematch between Floyd and Manny, because that I have like literally less than zero interest in that.
I remember what you said. I can't remember the word you said, but you said you'd rather set yourself on fire than watch that.
Exactly. I mean, I would say right now it's idle talk, and Floyd sort of like spitballing, seeing what's out there. And this whole thing they announced with this Mike Tyson Floyd Mayweather exhibition bout, the way that was announced was very clear to me that they may have signed to do the fight, but it's contingent on them actually having a platform on which to do it that will pay them money. And I don't think they have a deal yet for anybody to show it. So it's still a matter of if that actually will take place. So I'll believe it when I see it. And frankly, I don't see there being a lot of interest in that. Not because they're not two incredible names and two all-time legends and two great fighters and, have tremendous amount of fans and history in the sport. But we all know what Tyson's got left, and that's absolutely nothing. If they announced Mayweather versus Tyson before we saw Tyson get completely exposed by Jake Paul, I could understand there being interest. But he went in the ring with Jake Paul and had 8 rounds where he couldn't do anything. I know that was technically an official fight, so what makes you think he can do?
In the present, Crawford's career continued its upward trajectory, moving from his dominant win over Canelo toward even more historic achievements. He had become boxing's main storyline, showing he could handle any challenge, whether chasing middleweight titles, facing Bivol at light heavyweight, or remaining at super middleweight. Meanwhile, Canelo faced tough decisions about his own legacy. Should he rebuild at 168 pounds, go after Crawford for revenge, or finally retire after years of dominance? For a fighter who had accomplished so much, choosing whether to keep fighting was as significant as any bout in the ring.
Tired too. I don't think he will, though. He's got a multi-fight deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh. It's a lot of money on the table, and he's a proud champion. So I could understand him not wanting to end on that note. But you can see Canelo getting older, and I'm not just talking about ring. I mean, you can see it in his face. For the Netflix special behind the scenes, you kind of see the age. You see the wear and tear. The man has been fighting as a professional since he was 15 years old.
20 years.
He's got over... Yeah, it's a long time to be getting hit with 8-ounce and 10-ounce gloves, even if you take it well. And oftentimes the guys that take it well, they show it more because I'm absorbing a lot of shots and you giving me praise for absorbing them shots, but them shots take a toll. I don't know how much longer he should keep fighting, and it's not because he can't fight anymore. He's still one of the best fighters in the world, but you get into the hunger conversation. You get into the total punishment that you got to add that stuff up. When you start getting older, like, okay, man, do I still need to do this? He doesn't need to do it other than just his love for it, because his mantra is no boxing, no life. So I don't know if he's going to be able to walk away right now. His legacy is secure. I think he's one of the greatest Mexican fighters that has ever done it. I think he's in the great category and conversation. We can break down the resume another day, but I think that given the way that he fought and given the way that he bowed out, I think you just got to just leave it right there and give him his respect. I would like to see him maybe take 1 or 2 more and call it a...
From Benavidez's praise to Tony's sharp critique, From Kovalev's cautious outlook to De La Hoya's bold comparison and Rafael's doubts about Mayweather, the boxing world was full of reactions to Crawford's historic rise. Each voice offered a different perspective, showing a sport in transition where old legends were questioned and new stars emerged. At the center of it all stood Terence Crawford, once doubted for not facing big-name opponents, now recognized as one of the greatest in boxing history. With every division he conquered and every champion he defeated, he solidified his place in the record books, leaving only one question: how much further is he willing to go?